Hari ini saya berkesempatan berjumpa dengan beberapa keluarga daripada Malaysia dan juga keluarga daripada negara China. Dan 2-3 perkara yang mereka nak saya nyatakan, iaitu pertamanya usaha kita untuk SAR ini tak terputus dan akan berterusan. Itu saya beri jaminan. Malah apa yang kita lakukan ini bukan sahaja oleh Malaysia tetapi 26 negara. The families wanted an assurance that the SAR operation continues. And I gave them the assurance. I said it is not only done by Malaysia, but it is done together with so many other nations. And they felt relieved on that issue. Secondly, they said that no matter how remote, hope against hope, please, we will continue to find survivors. And I have said that from the beginning, that no matter how remote, I'm always hoping against hope, and I'm praying. And the SAR is also, in any remote manner, has always been to find for survivors. I totally appreciate and understand their feelings, and that I've indicated. If there's any lead or information that involves survivors, that has always been our priority. The third request, summarizing our discussion today, is to ensure the lines of communication between MAS and the families is smoother and more sensitive to what they're going through. Jadi ada perkara yang disentuh berhubung kait dengan komitmen kita untuk meneruskan SAR ini, tidak ada teragak-agak. Keduanya untuk menyatakan bahawa kita terus, walaupun ianya tipis, sentiasa berdoa dan berusaha untuk mencari mereka yang mungkin masih lagi selamat. Itu saya kata menjadi keutamaan kita daripada awal lagi. Dan ketiga, saluran daripada MAS dengan ahli keluarga mestilah diperbaiki. Dan saya nyatakan bahawa usaha ini merupakan bukan saja usaha Malaysia tetapi pengembelingan satu armada dan juga satu pasukan yang terbesar dalam sejarah untuk satu operasi cari dan menyelamat. Jadi itu yang saya dapat rumuskan daripada perjumpaan hari ini, dan saya akan terus dengan usaha ini, tak pernah putus asa pun. Dan saya menyeru kepada orang ramai. I appeal to everyone to understand the sensitivities of the family, and that even hoping against hope, no matter how remote, of course we are praying and we will continue our search for the possible survivors. But what they want is a commitment on our part to continue the search, and that I have given not only on behalf of the Malaysian government, but of so many nations that is involved in this SAR operations. Yes. Hi. Hi.
A couple of questions. These are questions that are threefold. Had the Malaysian government or Malaysian Airlines contacted the two Iranian families who had fake passports? Were they able to contact the families of the Iranians who had the fake passports who got on the flight? And second, will they be getting any sort of counseling? Will they be getting anything from the government or Malaysian Airlines, any kind of compensation? And lastly, Interpol has been quite critical of the fact that the government has said that it was a slow process to try to look at all of the passport information to stop these men from being able to get on the plane. How do you respond to that?
The question on the passport, there are mass issues revolving mass. You can bring those questions forward to AJ and the mass companies. But on the issue of the passports, that has been dealt with at the early stage. Because not only Interpol, but we involve the FBI, the Chinese intelligence, and the IGP has actually made a very clear statement earlier on in our investigations that they had nothing sinister related to the 370.
Right.
And
Criticism, sir.
sorry?
Interpol's criticism was that you said that it takes a long time to check all these passports and to go through Interpol. They shouldn't have been able to get.
You
on
were
the plane,
referring to the
right?
two Iranians. If you're talking about two Iranians, that wasn't long at all.
But they got on the plane with fake passports.
Yeah, but that's a different issue, which is not a question that I am looking at, which is the SAR, the search and rescue. Our concern about the 4 areas.
As the acting transportation.
I don't need to go into an argument with CNN. The issue of the Iranian and the fake passports will be resolved. If you look at your records a few weeks back, that was discussed and decided in detail.
I understand that, but
Yeah.
sir,
Thank you.
Hi.
You talked about the possibility of survivors, no matter how remote. What are the possible scenarios?
We can understand the family's sensitivity, and I met them individually. Julie was actually pregnant from China, and that sensitivity of the family and that request from the family, I think any parent or any family member, next of kin, would like us to give them that hope. And I think that is not an unreasonable request for us to continue with our prayers, no matter how remote. Well, it's not for me to say, but all I can say is that I can continue only with the leads that we have. At the moment, we have 6 sightings under satellite. The vessels are going there. I believe that there will be some visual sightings of the objects today. Those, I got to wait and get reports on whether they have retrieved those objects, where they're going to bring those objects. Those will give some indication. More than that, I told the families, I cannot give them false hope. And the best we can do is pray, and that must be sensitive to them, that as long as there is even a remote chance of a survivor, we will pray and do whatever it takes.
Associated Press.
Hi.
I have a quick question. There are reports about citing unidentified sources as saying from the FBI that the investigation into the flight simulator data has shown nothing of relevance. Can you confirm that, or tell us a bit more about what you know?
That I know, there is nothing sinister from the simulators. But of course, that will have to be confirmed by the chief of police, because he and our police have been working closely with the FBI from day one. And now when we're talking about satellite data and imagery, the CIA have also been on board. The Chinese intelligence have been on board. MI6 have been on board. So those 4 scenarios that have been indicated by IGP 2 weeks ago, possible hijacking, terrorism, personal problems, or whether it is psychological, that have been debated and discussed at length when we were discussing the fake passports. And to be fair to our intelligence agencies that are working with the Malaysian Royal Police, I think when the issues and the matters are corroborated, when all the agencies are comfortable in what needs to be released in public, then it is for the IGP to do that, or the Chief of Police to do that.
Sir, are you frustrated with this? I mean, the investigators.
No, I'm not. I'm very strengthened, more spirited after meeting the families, because their requests have been very fair. They know that it's not just a Malaysian effort, it's a global effort. They know that on the southern corridor, Australia is taking the lead. We've got the latest P-8 Poseidons and the Orions out there. We've got a Chinese aircraft, the latest, never seen outside the world before, landing in Perth. 26 nations working together. I think it is a very commendable effort on the part of a coordinating country as small as Malaysia. Hope in their eyes. And for me, as the minister responsible, this is the hardest part of my life at the moment, meeting up with the families. But in fact, not only that I gave them strength and I gave them assurance in our commitment, in a way, they gave me strength also to persevere. Because putting aside all the speculation, putting aside all these stories about sightings and putting aside about conspiracy theories, at the end of the day, they only want to know where are their loved ones. And when I indicated to them that is one question that I don't have the answers to at the moment, and the fact that it came to them sincerely, I think they appreciated it, and I think that gives me the strength to continue for another day.
Is it realistic to think that there might be survivors?
Well, even if miracles do happen, remote or otherwise, that is the hope that the family members want me to convey to not only to the Malaysian government, MAS, but to the world at large. And if it means our prayers, that's not a very difficult request, is it?
Why don't China Airlines should take responsibility as well?
No, I think on the point of responsibility, I've indicated yesterday that not only the Malaysian Air Force is doing their panel of inquiry, the Ministry of Transport is coming out with an international panel that is being formed at the moment. The Malaysian government is to decide whether we're going to have a parliamentary select committee or a royal commission. And I believe that all our partners and all the nations involved in this SAR would want to see what we have discovered through this exercise. You have to understand Boeing, Rolls-Royce, NTSB, and FAA from the US. You've got the Chinese agencies. You've got AIB from the UK. You've practically got everybody in the aviation industry involved in the search and rescue. This is the best time for everybody to actually relook not only on the question of the aviation landscape, but also on the issue of security and defense. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.